Garden community planning involves creating shared green spaces that foster social interaction, environmental stewardship, and community well-being. Whether in urban neighborhoods, residential developments, or public spaces, community gardens bring people together to grow food, beautify landscapes, and strengthen community bonds. Here's a concise guide to garden community planning. Identify needs and interests. Engage community members to identify needs, interests, and priorities for a community garden. Conduct surveys, meetings, or focus groups to gather input and gauge interest in gardening, food production, outdoor recreation, or community building activities. Assess resources and opportunities. Evaluate available resources, such as land, funding, expertise, and community support, to determine feasibility and scope for a community garden project. Identify potential partners, collaborators, or sponsors to leverage resources and strengthen project sustainability. Site selection and design. Identify suitable sites for a community garden based on factors such as accessibility, sunlight, soil quality, water availability, and proximity to residential areas or public amenities. Design the garden layout to maximize usability, productivity, and inclusivity for diverse users. Engage stakeholders. Foster community involvement and ownership in the garden planning process by involving stakeholders in decision-making, design workshops, or volunteer activities. Encourage collaboration, participation, and shared responsibility among garden members to build a sense of community and collective ownership. Establish garden governance. Develop a governance structure and organizational framework for managing the community garden. Establish clear roles, responsibilities, and guidelines for garden membership, leadership, decision-making, and conflict resolution. Promote transparency, accountability, and inclusivity in garden governance processes. Promote education and skill building. Provide opportunities for garden education, training, and skill building to empower community members with gardening knowledge, techniques, and resources. Offer workshops, classes, or demonstrations on topics such as organic gardening, composting, water conservation, and sustainable practices. Create social spaces and events. Designate communal areas within the garden for socializing, gatherings, and events that foster connections and build community spirit. Organize activities such as potlucks, picnics, work days, or educational events to engage garden members and promote social interaction. Celebrate diversity and inclusivity. Embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion principles in garden planning, programming, and outreach efforts. Create welcoming and accessible spaces that accommodate people of all ages, abilities, backgrounds, and cultural traditions. Foster a sense of belonging and mutual respect among gardeners from diverse backgrounds. Sustain garden operations. Develop sustainable practices and systems for garden maintenance, resource management, and funding to ensure the long-term viability of the community garden. Establish partnerships with local organizations, businesses, or government agencies to secure ongoing support, funding, and resources for garden operations. By following these garden community planning principles, communities can create vibrant, resilient, and inclusive green spaces that enrich lives, strengthen social connections, and promote environmental stewardship. Through collaboration, cooperation, and shared vision, community gardens become thriving hubs of activity, learning, and mutual support that contribute to the health and vitality of neighborhoods and cities.